Not a secret. It is much easier to comprehend complicated concepts if you break them down into layers, phases, add visualization. Business is a complicated concept, and I wanted to share with you how I see it as a whole and determine where to invest the most of my energy at any particular phase. Pretty much every business starts with an idea, and in our example, it's going to be a seed. You want to make sure that your seed is solid, it's healthy, and when you start sharing your idea with other people, either asking them to join your team or just for feedback, it's like you're placing your seed into the soil. And from the very beginning, you want to make sure that your soil is rich with positivity and honesty, and the people that you interact with at least share your same values and have your best interest in mind. And further, it's fertilized with the diversity of the mindset that will make it rich and be a great start to ensure that your seed grows well. And so in order to grow, it needs, like every plant, it needs sunlight. That's visualized concept for marketing, and financing. That's your water. And it's good to ensure that at least at the beginning, your financing comes from the more natural sources, like your savings or your part-time or full-time job, where it's steady and you feel yourself secure. Of course, there are plenty of stories where people just drop everything with this crazy idea and take on a lot of debt, but more often than not, that really fails. We just don't hear those stories. We just hear the success stories. And down the line, of course, you can there are plenty of options to take on that through outside finance sources. And so this is kind of where we are. We focused a lot on placing an idea into the soil, and we have a great engineering team. And so we were just trying to determine if our idea is solid and if it's possible to actually make it. And for our marketing, as you know, we do this YouTube channel. You could call it marketing, but it's just a great outlet, honestly, and a great journal. The great way to record the process. And we also reached out to Cincinnati Family Magazine, who are doing a product review on their website. They're completely free, probably available at your local Kroger or libraries. And our financing just comes from savings at this point, and from the steady income. But we're also going a Kickstarter route. And yeah, this is very, very nice. And crowdfunding is a good way to see if you're at least cracking through the ground. So this will be a determination for us if we actually cracked through the ground, if the Kickstarter goes well. So as you start building relationships with the suppliers, manufacturers, if you're in manufacturing business like we are, that's your roots, right? That's your third party connections. You want to make sure that those are good and solid as well. And of course, as you progress, as you grow, there's more and more people who are involved in the development of your product. We just started, as I mentioned, talking our initial negotiations, and developing this area of our business. So as it grows, right, hopefully it becomes a beautiful tree, plant, or whatever else you envision it to be. And it will, if you're in the service business or manufacturing, or you have a bakery, it will have some sort of seeds developed in itself. And then you will need wind, and that's your sales forces. Obviously, you have to be at least somewhat familiar with all of these areas, right? Because unless you're hiring an outside CEO, you are going to be in charge of keeping track that this cycle is alive and well. So this is the basic concept how I visualize a business, and just an example of where we are as with SoMi for now, and where we hope to be. So it's good to set up short term, long term. It's good to have it in your kind of in the back of your head, because that helps you stay proactive versus just reacting to any issues or concerns. For example, if you know you're going to be taking relying on outside financing, you want to make sure that your credit score is good, and that goes into like keeping the soil rich and fertile. If you know that you're going to be filing taxes, you want to make sure that you know where your spending and income comes from. You want to make sure that you have the right people you're engaging with, and that's easier to do when there's not so much to keep track of. And that's how I see it. Thanks.